I'm here ahead of the crew working on this big cabling job. And I'm doing a little reduction. But, you know, an easy little line set, and you avoid, you know, taking out your ladder. At least you avoid the consequences of taking out your ladder. And I'm going to take as small as piece as I can. I'm going to reduce this one here. But anyways, little hack, you know, a couple minutes just to set this up. And you take away the risk. Game of trees. We're having fun. All right, it's kind of lunchtime. I'm on a fast today. The guys are taking lunch. They pruned a tree and back already too. We have drawn up the crack basically with the GRCS. Still a little separation. I'll try it. I've been kind of cranking and letting it sit, and then crank a little bit more, let it sit, let it settle into itself. We'll probably draw it up, and then we're gonna use the cables to draw it up a little bit too. We can tension with the threads. You know, you got a lot of leverage on cranking threads. And so I've got a plan for 4 cables up there where that block is. So you can see our GRCS. We have got, you know, a bunch of leverage up there going back and forth through the canopy all the way over to here, back over to here, back out there, then back down to the GRCS. So we got 4 blocks in the tree and pulled that thing together. We lightened this up out here. So I don't know if I showed you a before picture, but you know, we did some reductions. It gave us lots of opportunity for reductions without a lot of change in architecture, but we made it quite a bit lighter. And from the house, you know, from their view, they won't really know. Maybe as they approach with the car, they'll see a little difference, but it won't be so dramatic. So we're gonna have up there where the block is tied, there will be a bolt there that goes across to the left side of this over here. And then we'll go down lower right there, and that'll go across to the opposing side right over there. So they won't cross, but they'll be both pulling kind of at similar angles, so that we're doubling up that pressure point with 2 cables. Like I said, I'm going with 1/4-inch cable here. You know, it's just what I want to do. And then we've got a place here with where this block is. We'll be putting a bolt in there and going up to there. I might put in a 5th cable. Like that branch will support to one behind it. You can see this one going up behind it. I might run one more cable back there just to have a little back support, because this branch kind of curls around and leans forward. It's got some support in front of it, but we should have a little back support on that cable. And then the longest run will be from this one, and we'll go all the way through that crotch up there. That'll be a long run. But I think we got a good plan to hold this thing together. And we'll crank up those cables tight, and then we'll see if we can't make this baby stand for quite a bit longer. Game of trees, we're having fun. It's beauty. Little hack on cabling. Assemble, we estimate the length of cable, long, you know, estimate long, and then maybe there's a little waste. My last one I still have connected, so the longest run will have the lift, we'll put that where the lift can't reach. And then I'll have this in the lift with me, and I'll cut it pretty close to length. But we'll maybe have a couple of 5-foot cables here that, you know, we'll have to use somewhere else sometime. But we usually have some short runs in a autumn blaze somewhere or something. But it works really handy to, you know, get one end all set up on the ground. Get most of it cut to length. And then you can just send these cables up individually and get them in the tree. And then we've got a cable cam or cable puller. These are very handy. And then that helps you, you know, get it in position and pull it tight. And you cut it just a little short. You leave your bolts, you barely thread these on, so that you've got an inch or two that you can draw up, and then you tension the cable with the threads. And that's a great little hack too. Game of trees, we're having fun. I love this drill. This is a beauty. Milwaukee Fuel Hog, the Super Hog. It's a beautiful machine. Yeah, we just drilled through this, no problem. Cabling this huge monster together. But get your Milwaukee Hog. It's awesome. Game of trees, we're having fun. The Dino lift is beautiful for cabling. You know, you can just have all your junk in here. Got your bucket on the outside, and just carry all your tools. Compared to climbing, this makes cabling a dream. See you at TCIA Expo. Dino booth 741D. And the Game of Trees booth is 3205. And we'll see you there. Game of Trees, we're having fun. Body position. All right, that's going to this one right here. And then we'll go just off the right foot right there, somewhere there, going up to that upper one. All right. Game of trees, we're having fun. Do that again like you're doing it. All right. In the absence of a second GRCS that we do have, but we didn't bring, we're utilizing my Toyota Highlander to tension this. Hang on. We got it wrong angle.
Can you just throw it over the Union? We got it unhooked it.
All right. Tarzan Taylor, we got Terry, we got the Dino lift, we got a frustrating cabling job, as cabling jobs always are. Here we're gonna watch this Union as we release the tension of the, we've got all 4 cables in.
There's a pile of tension in there.
We're releasing tension. Is there still tension, Terry? Yeah, I think I think it moved a little bit open, but not much. I blew it up a little bit, so that might have been what looked like. Yeah, it looked like it spread apart, but so we got all the rope out. All right, and we held where we were at.
Yeah, this side looks really good.
Game of trees, we're having fun. Yeah, we had a little bit of a crack on this side as well. And this, we got closure over here. Started cracking there. All right, good old GRCS. I'm gonna have this on the table at booth 3205, Game of Trees booth. This is serial number 4 GRCS. Look at us polish that baby. Yeah, we got rope marks on this thing, but it's still working 20 some years later. And you can buy these through Game of Trees, and we won't have inventory at the show, but we can have it drop ship, from the show. So we'll have a special show price, and you can get the GRCS at the Game of Trees booth. All right, well, that's a wrap. We had the Dino Lift 72 RXT. This is going to be for sale from RBG. And RBG Inc. is just a fantastic company. We have loved them from the beginning. Really take care of us with service. You get a lot of good, you call in with an emergency, you're on site. Paul's a great guy. Solved a lot of problems for us as you're learning the machine. Every one of these machines has its idiosyncrasies. And if you don't know them, you don't know. Just remember, if you're ever stuck and it's a sensor or it's something simple. You just don't know it. You just don't know what it is. And, you'll have those things to learn if you haven't had one of these before. If you've had one of these before, and I've had a different one than this, and the Dino Lift has been very trouble-free in that regard. So like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you at TCIA. Tarzan Taylor taking the blocks out of the tree, 4 of them. I suppose I could go up in the lift and help him. Game of Trees, we're having fun. So here's our cables. 1, 2. They don't cross. They cross vertically, but not across each other. There's separation. So they're supporting the same direction, and then those 2 over there are supporting the same direction. I think we got a good plan. Last little rope coming out of the tree. We got a little bit of stuffing to do. Game of Trees, we're having fun. Well, here's the after. We got a fair amount of reductions. We've estimated that we took at least 1,000 pounds off, and 1,000 pounds of leverage way out here. I think we still have enough. Some of these look sparse, but there's a lot of buds along the branch. They're gonna bush out a little bit with the extra sunlight. And there's our crack that had markedly more separation. We drew it together, and then 4 cables. We got a couple up there, a couple on the other side. So it's going to be here longer than it would have. It was beginning to slip as we were waiting for our cable supplies. There was another company in Madison that offered to, loan us supplies, so I appreciate that. Good gesture among professionals. But our stuff arrived faster than anticipated, so we got this done. Game of trees. We're having fun. Look at that beauty. She's a broad one.
You're playing the game of trees.